G'day, I'm Kevin. I've been here in Thailand for about a year now, travelling, relaxing, exploring and learning. Living here in Chiang Mai, Thailand, and the adventure continues. This is 52 weeks. G'day. Yes, I'm still in Australia, but the end is nigh. I've been here for about, almost 3 months. Pretty close, a few days away. And I came here to basically have Christmas with the family, which was the first thing I did. And then came back to Wagga to put my affairs in order. I have a house here which I needed to kind of clean out and do some work on so that I could lease it out to tenants, so that I have a house here if ever I need to come back, but hopefully it will pay for itself and its upkeep whilst I'm away. So all of that took a bit of time. I was expecting it to take time. It's certainly it's taken longer than I'd hoped, but about as long as I expected. So there's just a couple of final clean up things and tidy up things to do, and then to get the keys to the real estate agent who's going to manage it for me while I'm away, and then I'm on my way. So not far off being back in Thailand. I'm actually having a bit of a relax down by the river. The area I am in is kind of a little waterworks park, which doesn't mean there's lots of fountains and things like that, but it means that it's got old waterworks equipment. Over that side is Riverina Water, which supplies all of the water for the Riverina. And just over the other side of the river, I'm down near the Murrumbidgee River in Wagga Wagga. Well, actually, I'm near Marshall's Creek, which is just next to me here. And then just over the other side of a little bit of land is the Murrumbidgee River. So I'm just near where Marshall's Creek enters the Murrumbidgee River. I'm having a bit of a sit and a relax here. I first moved here in, when was it, 1987? Yes, it's a long time ago now. And actually lived not too far from here. I had a little flat, or what some people might call an apartment. I don't know what country you're in, but in my Melbourne Australian speak, it was a flat. Yeah, not far from the levee bank. I remember when I first moved here, I thought I'll go down to the levee and have a look at the river. So I climbed up the levee bank and looked over, and all I could see was blackberries as far as the eye could see. But they've cleared that up, done a lot of good work here, and it's now, the levee does more than protect us from floods now. It's a recreational facility. It's a walking and cycling track along the top of it in this section, and it gives access to the river. Down that way behind the camera a little way is the Riverside Precinct, which when we did the 200 baht challenge down under, we had a wander along that section a little bit. So I've lived in Wagga for quite a while. As I say, I first moved here in 1987, and the plan at that stage was to be here for a year and then move back to Melbourne, where I was born, and lived in the outer suburbs of Melbourne on the eastern side. Yeah, but the plan was after a year to move back and pick up my career in Melbourne and my life in Melbourne, but many things happened and I stayed for quite a while. I haven't been here all the time. I've worked in Albury for a little while, which is about an hour and a half back towards Melbourne, and then I was back in Melbourne for maybe a year, Albury for a couple of years, maybe 3 years in Albury, and then maybe a year back in Melbourne, and then moved back here again. And then until I moved to Thailand, I was living here in Wagga Wagga, and not always down here near the levee. I've lived in many places in Wagga, moved around a bit until I eventually bought the house that I'm back here tidying up so that I can rent. And done a whole stack of jobs here as well. So Wagga's actually given me plenty of opportunities, not the least of which is the opportunity to move in Thailand. I'd never even considered Thailand until I was working as a lecturer out at Charles Sturt University, which is a campus based on the outskirts of Wagga. And I was working there, and I got the opportunity to do a study tour with a Thai theatre company called Makampom, and I spent a month travelling around Thailand with them, doing all sorts of crazy things, and as a result fell in love with Thailand. So that was probably about 1999, I think, that I did that study tour. Once again, a long time ago, but I fell in love with Thailand and went back a couple of times and gradually started going back every year and having a wander around Thailand and going to some of my favourite old haunts, and up in Chiang Mai quite a lot, because that's where I was mostly with my kampong up in the northern parts, but yeah, so, and as I was travelling backwards and forwards every year, I came up with the idea that I might like to retire there. And the other thing about Wagga is it's enabled me to get jobs that paid me such that I could gather some financial resources together to be able to retire and go and live in Thailand. So Wagga Wagga has been very good to me. When I decided that I wanted to go and retire in Thailand in 2019, I did a test run. So I had some long service leave and some annual leave accrued, which allowed me to basically take a year off on half pay. Which I did, and I went to Thailand and lived there for a year to see if I could live there, and because living in a place is quite different to being a tourist and turning up for a month every year, so just wanted to check out if I could live there. So I took the year off on half pay and decided that yes, I could live there. And in fact, I enjoyed living there very much, and it would be a nice place for me to spend my retirement. So I made that decision, and the plan was to come back and sort out my stuff and then go back to Thailand to live in 2020. But we all know what happened in 2020. And so I ended up being in Australia and not able to get back to Thailand for a couple of years. So 2019, with the genesis of this YouTube channel, was a way of making a record for myself of my year away, and that's what I do this for. It's just an opportunity for me to kind of do something, keep myself amused, but also just to keep a record and keep my friends up to date. So any of you who have jumped on board and subscribed, thank you very much. I'm very flattered that you're interested enough to subscribe to my channel and watch my adventures. So yeah, but 2019 was the genesis of the channel while I was doing my test run, and then when I came back to Australia and was stuck here for a couple of years, a couple of things happened. The equipment I was using to edit the stuff went all kind of haywire. My computer had a fatal crash, so it took me a while to get my stuff back together, but I did kind of a few episodes, maybe half a dozen, I think, across that 2 years. And put them up. That was series 2. And then in 2022, I actually made it back to Thailand. Yeah, so the borders opened up again, and Thailand started kind of easing the requirements to come in. Some fairly strict requirements around travel, you might remember, at one stage. But I still had to quarantine overnight while they did a test on me. So 2022 March, I was back in Thailand, and that was series 2 of the channel. And then at the end of 2022, came back here and started series 4 in 2023, and I've been in Australia so far for all of series 4. Not that you would know from casually observing the channel, because I had quite a few episodes filmed, and I've been uploading those as I go. But soon I'll be back on, well, not live, but more contemporaneous videos from Thailand. So yeah, it's been quite a journey actually. I'm hoping that I don't have to talk to you about COVID again. In fact, I'm thinking that I'm going to try not to mention it ever again on this channel. But we'll see how we go. It was quite a dramatic block to the world, quite a dramatic period of time for the world. Yeah, so here I am. I think it'll be a couple of weeks before I'm back in Thailand. Basically, I've got, as I say, just a couple of things to do at the house and head off to get the keys to the real estate agent, and then I'm going to go down to Melbourne for a little while just to touch base with the family before I head off, and then I am flying out of Melbourne to Bangkok. So barring major disaster, very soon I will be back in Bangkok and Thailand, and then shortly after that Chiang Mai. Well, that was quite a reflective video. Sorry about that. I normally do that in my 26th episode, halfway through. So for 26 I'll have to try and do something a little more interesting rather than a talking head reflective video. We'll see what happens. But anyway, that's it for today, and hopefully soon I'll be back in Thailand doing videos for you, ensconced in my world in Chiang Mai. I must say I do enjoy Chiang Mai. I like Australia. Australia's my home, and I feel comfortable here. But now it's time for a new adventure, and time to spend some time navigating a new culture, continuing to learn a new language. I've forgotten a lot since I've been away in the 3 months, but hopefully it will come back into my head as I start speaking again. But still a lot to learn in terms of Thai language, still a lot to learn in terms of Thai culture, still a lot to see in Thailand that I haven't seen. But as I say, that's the end for today, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching my video. I do enjoy your company on the journey. Now, if you've made it all the way to the end of this video and are not a subscriber, you might want to consider doing so. And you can subscribe by just clicking here. And if you've enjoyed this video and want to see something else that I've made, you can click here, and that will take you to another one of my videos. Or if you're feeling like a real binge, you can click here, and that will take you to one of my playlists, and you can work your way through that. Hope to see you on the journey soon.